Want to know what a real man would tell their lady about love and life? You're in the right place. This is Hello Ladies with Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an author, speaker, and proud father. Grab some wine, sit back, and enjoy.
Hello, ladies. Welcome to my spot. You have to love yourself. Ladies, this is something I've seen with a lot of women. You want that man to love you, preferably that successful man. I'll get into that in the next podcast. But you want that man to love you, but how can that man love you and you don't love yourself? It's a very simple thing. Oh, don't worry, I'm going to hit the men with this too. But ladies, I'm talking to y'all right now. How many of y'all really love yourself? How many of y'all look in the mirror in the morning and say, you know what? I love myself. I love how my dress hang and everything. You know, I remember I worked with this sister back in the summer of '85. And one, she didn't wear makeup. She didn't wear hair all stylish and stuff, natural hair. But she was a part of I'll just say a Pan-African spiritual group back then. So that wasn't in her. I ain't gonna lie. I'd tore her up if I had the chance. Good Lord. But she did kind of an exercise with everybody. She was talking about all the stuff she loved about herself. And, you know, for the sisters listening, the black women who are listening, she was a chocolate sister. But she just felt so good about herself, and it just radiated. Yeah, Ron was trying to get with her. I just didn't. I had a game back then, but she was just like, she wasn't like what people would consider classically beautiful, but she was beautiful. And usually in this culture, when you say classically beautiful, you mean looking like Barbie. Let's just be real with her. So, but that's a whole other conversation. But she felt so good about herself. But I've seen many black women who would look similar to her. They would call themselves ugly. Like one of the saddest things. And just to be clear, this isn't just about black women. I've known women of every race who've had that issue. Every race. I'll get into that in a second. I'm just using a black woman as an example. I've known so many like chocolate complexion sisters who were gorgeous, like drop dead gorgeous, but they didn't love themselves because of their complexion. It was a sad thing because you're looking at them like, you are gorgeous. I mean, you gorgeous. And, you know, I'm kind of picky. If I use the word gorgeous with a woman, she's really gorgeous. And they were beautiful, but they didn't love themselves. And like I said, it's not just a black woman thing. One of the most gorgeous women I've known in my life did not like how she looked. She was an Hispanic woman, actually been on a poster when she was younger. And I've seen a picture of her recently in her 50s, still look good, but she didn't think she looked good. I've known white women that way. I know a very beautiful Asian young lady. Very beautiful, but she didn't like how she looked. She actually wore colored contacts, you know? And it's always the same thing. A lot of people don't love themselves. And then, you know what, ladies, don't hit me with, well, they're just making the choice to wear that. Look, I got more of a psychology background that I let on. And yeah, where I learned it from was, I'll just say confidential places. You know, when people, they'll try to justify something, but it's always, you can tell not even so much how they are doing themselves, but in their behavior, how they feel about themselves. Because another thing of not loving yourself is abusing your body with alcohol or drugs or something like that. Not taking care of yourself, your body language and everything. And it always comes down to the same thing. They don't love themselves. Ladies, that's important. Now, I know the same women want somebody to love them. But how can a man love you if you don't love yourself? Because, see, when you love yourself, even if that man does love you, and he could be successful, he can be all the stuff. Let's use the generic stuff that they say women look for. Okay, he handsome, check. He's taller than average, check. Oh, he got some muscles on him, check. He making 6 figures, which is slowly creeping up to 7 figures, another conversation. Okay, he got all of that stuff. He show a genuine interest in a woman. She thinking because she don't love herself, she don't trust it. How many women have lost out on a guy who's genuinely interested, but they feel like, well, why would he want me? Oh, he must be a player to want me. I dealt with a woman like that one time. She said when she first met me showing genuine interest in her, she thought I was a player. I was going to use her. And we got into a relationship, but it was still some trouble, and it all stemmed from she didn't love herself. And I've seen that so often. Because if you don't love yourself, you're not going to think anybody else love you. So even when you meet that guy who got everything going on for him, you ain't going to trust him, because you're going to be, every second is going to like, oh, I'm ugly. Why would he want me? I'm out of shape. Why would he want me? You know? Or I'm not that smart. Why would he want me? I'm flaky. Why would he want me? He apparently likes whatever you got. And he's sincere. But then when you don't love yourself and that guy, you don't trust him, you kick him to the curb, you might reject him first. I actually had a woman with me rejected me because she said she wanted to reject me before I rejected her. And she was drop dead gorgeous. And in fact, one of the things that annoyed me about her was she was playing that. I mean, I've had women play games. I've seen it because it always come down to the same thing. They don't feel good about themselves. They don't love themselves. Like one woman, I mean, on the surface, she would act like you would think she loved herself on the surface. But then when you start dealing with her on a more private thing, you realize she didn't feel good about herself. Ladies, that's the thing. If you want a man to love you, you gotta learn to love yourself. Just look at everything. You are, ladies, every single one of you is a creation of God. Every single one of you. However you want to worship God, if you want to say God is, whatever the case, every single one of you. Every single one of you was born with everything you need to attract the right man to you. It's actually easier for y'all to get a mate than it is a man. And I don't mean for the reasons people usually talk about. If y'all in your right nature, you will draw a man for you from miles away. It's just a spiritual thing. All you had to do is sit on a porch or something, cross your legs nicely. And you know what? Here's the thing. He's going to want more than sex. If you built that way, but see, if you don't love yourself, you're not going to present that type of energy. Whenever a man who would generally love you is around you, you might be mean. There's some women, I've met women who call themselves bitches. I've met women who call themselves bitches. Why would you call yourself a female dog? I want you to think about that. Because I've also seen the women who genuinely love themselves. They couldn't get rid of men. And the men treated them with respect too. But you got to love yourself, ladies. Now, you know what? Deal with whatever you got to deal with. It's not a simple answer because I know it's deep. If you got to get therapy, please do. If you got to talk to your spiritual leader, please do. If you have to talk to a trusted relative, whatever you have to do, do what you got to do to heal whatever trauma got you to that point. Get the healing first. In fact, I know a lot of ladies, they might listen because you want a perspective about men. Get your healing first. Heal yourself. I have a young friend. She works. I know I always talk about I got friends in the neighborhood and everything. There's a very sweet young lady who works at a local grocery. Very sweet. Her nature is sweet as one of the sweetest young women I've met in my life. It's just natural. You just see it. It's just natural with her. And I remember she was dealing with this guy and she had to break up from him. Now she was a single mom, young single mother, and she had a young child. And to be clear, before somebody put race in it, she was a white young lady. But she was just a sweet person. I remember she broke up from a dude. And I told her, and I keep up with on it. I said, look, why don't you take some time to yourself and get your healing? And she actually listened. She was sweet. She was very cooperative. She actually listened, and she said she just felt better from my advice. And that's the one thing. She got her healing. Ladies, get your healing, okay? Learn to love yourself. Because once you love yourself, then it's easier. Then when you meet that guy who got everything going on and he loves you, you're not going to, in your mind, doubt him because you love yourself. Like genuinely love yourself. You feel good. You can look in the mirror and feel good about your beauty. Be like that sister that I knew back in the summer of '85. She felt good about her beauty. Ron felt good about it too. Like I said, I ain't have any game back then like that. But I felt good about it too. She was, because she was just totally and that's what it was. Like I said, people wouldn't have considered her classically beautiful, but she was gorgeous because she was totally comfortable with who she was. I remember she was talking about, she even liked how her dress hung on her. I loved how her dress hung on her too. All right. So, I mean, a couple of us, a whole bunch of us, because we had a training program with a bunch of young teenagers. Most of the guys in that program like how her dress hung on her too. But she loved herself, and that's the thing. That's the thing, ladies. Come on, you were made by God. You were made by God, ladies. And I know, yeah, you went through some stuff, but there's help out there for you, all right? I want y'all to love yourselves, all right, sweeties? I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessings.